The family of this Nebraska inmate celebrate his birthday as they hope to keep his story and his hopes for a life outside prison alive. Thanks for joining us. I'm Rob McCartney. Ernest Jackson's been behind bars for decades for first-degree murder. He's one of 3 men arrested in the shooting death of Larry Perry in 1999, but he's the only one to serve prison time. KATV News Watch 7's Jessica Perez spoke with Jackson's mother about the case while his family held a birthday party for him today. Jessica?
Jackson turned 42 yesterday, but he's been in jail since he was 17 years old, convicted of a crime that he and his family say he didn't do. His mother tells me it's important to keep holding events like this to continue to bring awareness to his case.
Earnest Jackson!
Last year, family and supporters of Earnest Jackson stood at the front steps of Nebraska's Capitol demanding a commutation.
No more time!
It was denied. A year later, that support hasn't wavered. Family and friends gathered to celebrate his 42nd birthday Sunday.
We got to make sure we keep his name out there and awareness going, and this makes me feel good knowing that the community is coming together.
Jackson was convicted of first-degree murder in the 1999 shooting death of Larry Perry, an eyewitness placing him at the scene. Prosecutors argued he was an accessory to shooter Shalimar Cooper Ryder, but Cooper Ryder and a third man, Dante Chillis, were later acquitted. A jury found the shooting was in self-defense. During his trial, Cooper Ryder confessed Jackson wasn't even present during the shooting. Still, Jackson's sat in jail since 17.
I've been shocked that our society is so willing to throw people away.
Restorative Justice Coordinator Nature Villegas says the justice system is flawed, allowing people like Jackson to remain in prison. Advocate Jason Whitmer believes laws like the felony murder statute need to change, so this story isn't repeated. Under this rule, you can be convicted of murder for committing a felony that causes a victim's death, even with no intent to kill them.
It's a terrible thing when we have politics that will make us take a ground to just not accept what is before us. And what is before us in Ernest's case is, it almost has nothing to do with what he did, because he could have been present and still would have been innocent.
What I like to say to the people in power is do right by the people that put you in office. It's not about self. It's not about your politics. It's not about what you want to happen. It's about serving the people who put you in office. So do the right thing.
Jackson will be eligible for parole in 2029. Board of Parole members are appointed by Nebraska's governor with legislative approval. The Board of Pardons is made up of 3 members, the Nebraska governor, Secretary of State, and Attorney General. The board's commutation decision last year, then Governor Pete Ricketts cited Jackson's misconduct reports in opposition from the victim's family. Back to you.